Yo guys, what's going on, and welcome back to this video today. So today guys, what I'm going to be speaking to you about is quite possibly one of the, well, I know it's going to be one of the most sort of controversial videos that I've put out on my channel. And I'm not putting this out to create any sort of drama. I'm not putting it out there to be controversial. I'm actually just putting this out because I feel like this is my opinion, and obviously I don't necessarily always think my opinion is right, but in this case I feel like this may resonate with a lot of people who are probably going around a few things the wrong way when it comes to their own life and things that they can control and things like that. But before we jump into that quickly, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, drop a comment down below, drop a like. Like I said, I'm not trying to cause any sort of controversy here. I'm just letting you know my opinion. If you agree with it, that's absolutely fine. If you don't, I want to know as well. Leave me a dislike, tell me in the comment section your opinion on it, because at the end of the day, maybe I am wrong, and if I am wrong, I'm open to new ideas. So without further ado, like I said, I'm not trying to create controversy here, but I know this video will be controversial. Everyone's going to have a different opinion of what I'm about to speak about, so I'd love to know your opinion in the comment section down below, just to see some other mindsets on it, what other people's opinions are on it. And what I actually want to speak about today is things that you can control and things that you can't control. And what I actually want to speak about today, guys, and hear me out here, is things such as politics, and there's loads of other things that we can go into. And this video isn't about politics, but it's about sort of the mindset that people have with politics. And it's not necessarily just politics, but it's quite possibly the biggest example that I can think of right now. And what I want to speak about, because I am really not educated in politics, I've never taken any sort of interest in politics, because I've been purely focused on things that I can control. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't learn about politics. I think it's very, very important that, you know, you do take an interest and learn as much as possible about, you know, politics runs countries, it runs the world essentially. Whoever gets in power makes changes, etc., etc. So it is important to learn about these things. I'm not too worried about the build up to, you know, who should be in power and who you vote for. I think that is important. What I'm worried about is when someone else, for example, someone like Donald Trump, or for example in the UK, let's say a certain party gets elected, people get so upset, people cry, people get shouting, people get all aggressive on social media about, you know, oh, it should be this party, it should be this party, it should be this party, these are the reasons why. They get so behind it, and they worry so much about what other people are doing, they worry so much about who's in charge, or because that party got in, and what things they don't agree with. When, you know what, okay, when you have the opportunity to vote, as long as you put your vote in for who you believe for, it's out of your control. There's no point if something that you don't like politically happens and someone gets put in power or something that you don't agree with, there's no point then going to Facebook to make negative comments, be down, be hating on these people, because it is out of your control, right? It is 100% out of your control. And the biggest key I want you to take away from this video today is I don't want you to focus on things that you can't control. I want you guys to put 110% focus on things that you can control. Can I control how my business is run? Yes. Can I control how my country is run? No. Okay. Another thing I see as well, and this is something I see a lot of things like comedians and things like that. When, you know, people may watch a comedian and a comedian may say a fairly offensive joke, for example, people will jump straight on Twitter and be like, you shouldn't have said that, you shouldn't have said that, that is not morally right, this is not right, this is not right. People will jump on YouTube comment sections and say, your video is crap, why have you uploaded this, you're so crap, you're so ugly, you don't know what you're talking about, like, oh, your hair's really greasy, or, you know, oh, you're overweight, you're fat. They're focusing on other people. Don't watch it. If you don't like it, do not watch it. Stop wasting your time and go away from that thing. Something I've started doing recently, almost like sort of, I suppose it's just sort of to get into the technique, it's sort of like an NLP technique, I suppose you could say, is I've been getting in a technique of every single time I watch a video, before I even watch the video, I like it, because I'm like sort of tricking myself and teaching myself into, look, I'm going to share love with every single thing that I'm doing. Share like, share a like, share a like. Be positive. If you're leaving dislikes and you're leaving negative comments, I don't care if you don't agree with it. I don't care if you don't like what that person's putting out on the internet. I don't care if you don't like the content. Do not watch it. You are not in control of what that person puts out. You're in control of what you put out to the world and what you do, and that's what I want you guys to focus on. Too many people are, you know, consumers of content. Too many people are consumers of politics, consumers of news, all this negative, but yet they're not focusing on themselves. You know what, like, again, I know there's a part of me which, like, I probably should be a bit more interested in what's going on in this world, because it is important, you know, and I know it is, but I'm so focused on me that everything else that I can't deal with, I'm not worried about, you know. If something happens, you know, and the Olympic Games get put in a country that, you know, is meant to be the UK but ends up going to bloody Brazil or something like that, I don't know, and everyone's on Facebook, why don't we get it, why don't we get it? I can't deal with where that goes, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to worry about it. I want you guys to start thinking in that same manner. You know, I'm not saying neglect it completely. Obviously, it is important. Politics is important. You know, who you want to run your country and who you want to be in power, it is important, okay? Because if you should learn about that. I know I need to learn more about politics, and I know that, you know, up until that stage where you vote, you know, that is important. You should know which party you support and which leader you want to support to run your country. That's very important, especially if you're planning on living there. You know, depending who's on power, it could affect your taxes, it could affect jobs, all sorts of other stuff. Obviously, look at the controversy now with like Donald Trump and things like that. But my point is, once somebody gets into power, and if it's not the person that you agree with, if something's happened in the news which is negative, which you don't agree with, rather than just sitting there and being a troll online, being negative, sharing negativity out there to the world, just leave it. Focus on yourself. Go and read a book about self-improvement. Go and start building your business. Go to the gym and work out and listen to a podcast. Meditate. Go and do something that's positive for yourself as opposed to negative. You know, and at the end of the day, you know, Tony Robbins speaks a lot about sort of the way that the words that you use, the sentences that you use, the way you frame your mind is, you know, the NLP stuff. You basically can program your mind into becoming a positive person by using positive words, by surrounding yourself with positive things, by meditating, by being positive. You know, if you're constantly swearing, if you're constantly being negative about this and negative about that, and this isn't right, it's going to affect how happy you are, because you're constantly negative in everything that you do. And by focusing so much on what everyone else is doing, you're just consuming stuff rather than creating a life for yourself. Another thing that I will just touch on finally before I end this video is things like Facebook as well. Facebook is the worst for this, man. You know, the one thing that I don't like about Facebook is that you essentially, the thing is, social media has given so many opportunities. I mean, I wouldn't be able to run my business without social media. You know, my personal brand's built on it. My agency is built around social media. I would essentially have no businesses if it wasn't for social media. And in my opinion, it's the best thing in the world. But it also has its negatives if you don't use it correctly. You know, I remember maybe 5-6 years ago now, I had to give up Facebook because I used to get home from work and just scroll. I was so interested in what everybody else was doing with their life. All of my like so-called friends at school, which they weren't even my friends, they were people that went to my school, people I haven't seen in 4 years, yet I'm just seeing what they're doing in their lives. People complaining, people being negative. What I think you should use social media for is to network with people, join business Facebook groups, network, get to know people, surround yourself with like-minded people. Use Instagram to DM influencers, reach out to people, show love, share your support, like posts, you know, listen to business content, listen to self-improvement content. Use YouTube as somewhere to consume information and create content, as opposed to leave negative feedback, leave dislikes. And you know, the funny thing is, this video is probably going to get a ton of dislikes, and you are the people who, it's negative. If you know, I know I said at the beginning of the video, if you're leaving a dislike because you just want to show me like, look, I personally didn't like this video, I think it could be improved in this way, that's fine, because that's feedback for me. If you're leaving a dislike on the content to be spiteful because you think, you know what, I don't like this guy, like, dislike him, then that's negative. I don't mind a dislike if it's used for feedback purposes. I don't think I've ever in my entire life ever left a dislike on anything just because I don't want to be associated with that negativity. I don't mind leaving a supportive feedback comment, but me personally, I don't like leaving dislikes. get into the habit of every single video you watch, drop a like. You're just programming yourself to give something to every single person. Even when it's something as simple and as little as a like, you're giving. You're doing something completely selfless, okay? Leave a nice comment on every single Instagram post you see. Use Instagram and social media to network with people as opposed to just consume negative content. Instead of being interested in what everyone else is doing in their life, focus on your life, build your personal brand. And of course, when it comes to politics and things like that, so many people get so passionate about it, so butthurt when things don't go their way, but the truth is it's not in your control, guys. This video obviously wasn't meant just to be about politics or social media and things like that. It was more so just to say, guys, for you, and I know 99% of you guys watching this aren't like this, but for the few of you guys that are, please, if you leave me loads of negative feedback, guys, you know, I'm in a position now, I do not even care. You leave me negative feedback, it helps boost my video. The more dislikes this video gets, the higher up it's ranked, okay? The more negative feedback I'm getting, you know, if I'm not getting negative feedback, I'm doing something wrong. So that's fine. I don't, you know, you can leave it, it doesn't affect me. But you're affecting yourself. You're affecting your own outlook on life if everything you're doing is negative, negative, negative. This didn't go the way I wanted it to. I'm not in control of this, but it should have gone this way. Look, you can't deal with it, right? So, like I said, that was a rant over for today, guys. I know I said it's going to be quite a controversial one. I'd love to know your opinion on it because, of course, it is just my opinion. I'm only 23 years old. You know, maybe when I'm 25, 27, I'll look back and be like, Brad, you're an idiot, what you're chatting. But as far as I can see, you know, if something's not in my control, you know, I can vote for who I want to vote for. I can put as much input as I can, which is that. After that, it's out of my control, and if things don't go my way, I'm not going to turn to social media to be negative about it, because I'm not in control of that. So focus on what you can control. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'd love some feedback in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you next time.
Everything around me